Well, hello, girls and boys. I hope you had a wonderful Easter break. Hope you've been getting outside. The weather has been gorgeous. And we are ready, I hope, to get back to wonderful and fun math. All right, so this is assignment 7A. And what I need you to do is I need you to take a picture. If you want to pause this, I did do three additional problems here, and you need to note that you cannot just go straight across and multiply. You need to know the method of reducing first. I reduced this 4 into the 8. I reduced the 3 into the 15, which went 5. So you don't end up with a bunch of big numbers. So if you want to pause that and make sure that yours looks exactly like this, because this is on the next test, this is what you're going to be expected to do. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish up this one, number 21. So again, I've already done my check plus, and I'm going to look and see, well, I'm going to look at this 3. I can see that 3 goes into the 6, so I'm going to divide 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. And then let's see if there's anything else. Oh, I see that, again, can 2 go into the 8? No, because 1 has to be on top, 1 has to be on bottom. So that is a no-no. But that 2 can go into the 10 because it's 2 divided by, again, there's that division sign. So we can divide both of those by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And then is there anything else? That 5, I'm going to circle what's left. And the only thing down here really other than the 1 is 5, and it doesn't go into either. So let's go straight across. 8 times 7 is 56 over 5. And if that were a 55, 55 divided by 5 is 11. And again, our leftover go in a size 5 box. So 11 times 5, we've used 55 pieces. And therefore, how many are left over is 1. And let's make sure that I got that right. And it is right here. All right. So again, you should make sure that this 7A, C60, this is C60, is turned in. Let's flip it over. This one is very important. Now, you've turned in a lot of stuff. My email probably has about 700 emails, so it's a little slow going. So I'm going to take selected assignments, but they need to be in the email. This is a very important one. Again, this is self-checking. So anytime you don't find one or you don't get the answer, please email me and I will work it out for you and send it to your parents' email. Again, this one had to be done on another sheet of paper. I will not accept it if you did the work here, because I've already said on the last video that there was absolutely no room. So this needs to be submitted. This is 7B. So submit that, the 7A, the 7B. And you also had the 7C. There was one correction. If there were more, please let me know. But this first one, when I did check plus, 23 over 5, 2 over 3, there was nothing to reduce, came out to be 46 over 15, and that came to 3 and 1/15. And that answer was not down there, so you can just tack it on. 3 and 1/15 is the answer. I'm going to very quickly do a couple of these that are kind of large. So let's look at this one. When you did the check plus on 5 and 4/5, it came to 29 over 5 and 7 over 1. 5 doesn't go into either. So the only thing you could do is multiply straight across, and I hope you can see this. I went 7 times 29 over here and got 203. So far, this is 203 over 5 times 1 is 5. And then if that were 200, 20 divided by 5 is 4. And then we would just tack on a 0. So it ends up being, I put it right here, it ends up being 40 Again, our leftover is 5. 40 times 5 is 200. And I don't know if you can see that very well, but 203 minus 200 is 3. Those were really big. I didn't realize how big those were. And that answer is at the bottom. Again, this one is the number 2. Again, if you didn't get that, pause it. That's the nice thing about distance learning. You can't pause me in class, but you can pause this video. So let's go on. So this one here, you should have reduced that after you did your check plus. Check plus. So 3 goes into 36 12 times, and 7 doesn't go into anything. So again, I went 11 times 12, got 132. So it's 132 on the top, and then 1 times 7 is 7. And I can't do that mentally. There's no way. So the only thing that you do when the numbers are that big is you actually divide 132 divided by 7. I did it really tiny here. If you can squeeze that in on your paper, you can do it there. Is again, that goes 1 times 7 is 7. Subtract, I get 6. Bring down the 2. 7 goes into that 8 times. 8 times 7 is 56. Subtract, I get 6. And bring that way up to the top. And then if I could have, I would have divided by 7. Again, we don't put a decimal remainder. You just take that remainder, put it as if you were going to put R6. And if we could have kept going, we would have divided by 7. So it went in 18 full times, and we had 6 left over 7. And I believe that is down there also. All right. So those you can submit. Again, this one you could have done the work right there. And let's go ahead and see what we're going to be doing today. So flip it over to this page. So a lot of this we can do here. So a number, I'll just go ahead and put that on number 8. You are going to be doing page 286. You're going to be doing KS Learning 8B. I'll call it 8B. And we're going to be doing KS Learning right here 8C. Dividing by fractions. Dividing fractions by fractions. I hope it's not too hard today. Oh, and by the way, 2 people. Lammy Lamb. Oh, hello. Where have you been? Hiding. I didn't want to become a lamb chop. Okay, Lammy, I'm glad you didn't want to become a lamb chop. So I need to get working now. So go have fun. Bye. Bye. All right. Anyway, let's get on. So I just wanted to let you know that Lammy Lamb is perfectly fine and didn't become a lamb chop. So that is good news. All right. So here we go. So we're going to look at the concept of division of fractions. And a little bit of this is a little confusing, but we'll see if we can get through it. It says use the picture below to find each quotient. Again, remember, a quotient is when you are dividing. That is your answer when you divide. It says how many thirds are in 3. In other words, 3 divided by 1/3. So let's see what that looks like. So here is 1 bar, here's 2 bars, here's a 3rd bar. We're not going to use these other 3 just this right at the moment. And every bar is divided up into 1, 2, 3. There's thirds. So if you look at 1 bar, how many thirds are there? If you said 3, you're right. 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. And then here's 2 bars. How many thirds are in 2 bars? Well, if you said 6, you are right again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now here's the question that they're asking. 1, 2, 3 bars. How many thirds are there in 3 bars? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9. Now look at this carefully, because we're going to start right away doing this mathematically. Can you see how I could possibly get 9 from that? Huh. Well, we actually don't. I can tell some of you are saying, oh, go 3 times 3. Well, you're right in a way. But what we're going to be doing, we're going to do something that's called, we're taking the inverse of the second number. Or, to make it easy, I say leave, change, and flip. That flip is where we're going to flip the second number. So we leave the first number, we change this division to a multiplication, and we take the inverse of that. Rather than 1 over 3, we put 3 over 1. So basically, again, leave the first one, change, and then flip. And so then you just, in this case, these are just ones on the bottom, so we go straight across. 3 times 3 is 9, 1 times 1 is 1, and 9 divided by 1 is 9. And isn't that how many thirds we said were in those 3 bars? And so that answer is 9. And that's the mathematical way to do it. Now this one's a little bit tougher. How many 2/3 are in 6? So this, what they're trying to say is, and I'm going to turn on this light, see if this makes any difference. All right, maybe it does. All right, so this is 6 divided by 2/3. So they're saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars. How many groups of 2/3 can I make? So we're going to do it picture-wise, pictorially, and then we're going to do it mathematically. So how this works is 1/3, 2/3. So that's a set of 2/3. Then here's another one, 1/3, 2/3. But then we're going to take these little leftover pieces, 1/3, 2/3. So you should be doing this on your paper, 1/3, 2/3. So that's another set of 2/3. 1/3, 2/3. And then I'm going to take these two down here at the ends, 1/3, 2/3, and make those a group. That's another set of 2/3. And I'll go back this way. So 1/3, 2/3, 1/3, 2/3, 1/3, 2/3, and I think that's it. So let's see how many groups we made. We made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now that's a little bit more difficult to visualize that with those numbers. So we're going to go ahead and do it mathematically. Again, I'm going to say, here's my answer, 9. But then we're going to do leave, change, flip. I call it dizzy division. When you're dizzy, sometimes you just flip over. So we're going to leave, we're going to change, and then we're going to take what they call the reciprocal or flip. So 3 over 2. And this time, a lot of times I'll go ahead and cross out and reduce that, but these numbers are so small that we can go ahead and we can go straight across. 6 times 3 is 18. 1 times 2 is 2. And what's 18 divided by 2 is 9. And isn't that the same answer that we just got? Yes. All right. So that is that, how to look at these visually. So let's go ahead and look at the next group. The next group is how many 6 are in 1? So here's a pizza. How many 6 are there? Well, there are 6 of them. Again, 1 divided by 1/6. So we're going to do it mathematically. Dizzy division, leave, change, and flip. Take the reciprocal. But if I'm just dividing by 1, I really don't need that. 1 times 6 is 6. So there's 6 pieces in 1 pizza pie. So then let's look at the one that's similar. How many 6 do you think are in 5 pizzas? Think about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did you think 30? If you said 30, you are right. There's 6, 12, 18, 24, and 6 more makes 30. And we're going to do that also mathematically. So again, if there's 6 pieces in each times 5 pizzas, that means 30. But we're going to go leave, change, dizzy division, we flip and take the reciprocal. Because that's a 1, I don't need it on the bottom. So 5 times 6 is 30. All right. So I think because of time, I'm going to do a couple of these pictures. Now, what I need you to do is I need you to, in just a moment after I explain this, is I need you to pause the button because you're going to draw all of these pictures. And what are these? This says 4, and you're going to divide it in half. So put 4. This is 8. 8 little boxes, and we're going to divide it into fourths. This is 2 boxes, and we're dividing in eighths. This is 4 boxes, and we're dividing into 2/3. 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. And the last one is 6 boxes, and we're going to divide it into 3/4. So you might want to pause, get all those drawn first. All right? Okay, so I'm back. I hope you paused that. So I'm actually going to start backwards because they want you to draw a picture to find each quotient. So I'm going to do the hardest. So this one says 6 divided by 3/4. So that means I've got to make everything into fourths. Can I make that any bigger? All right, so I'm going to cut it in half and then cut each of those halves again. So if you could do the same, and again, if I go a little bit too fast, it's so great because you can just pause. Instead of saying in class, Miss S, you're going too fast. You can just pause me right now. So I've got all of those in fourths. Again, if you want to pause that, you may do that. And then what we're going to do, it says divide it into groups of 3/4. So let's see what that is. So I need to take 1, 2, 3. That's 3/4. That's one group. Then I'm going to take another 3/4. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to go across. And that's another group. And then I need another group of 3/4. 1, 2, and I'll take this one right here. That's another 3/4, and I kind of covered that one up, but that's a free one. So here's another 1, 2, 3. And then I need another 3/4, 1, 2, 3. And then I need another group of 3, 1, 2, 3. Again, pause at any time so you can get this copied. And then I need another 1, 2, 3. So you just need to know how to group this on a test. And 1, 2, 3. There's another 3/4. So how many groups did I make? I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I made 8 groups. Now, you and I are going to do it mathematically, and I'll try to squeeze it right below. Again, dizzy division is leave, change, and then flip to make the reciprocal. And I'm running out of room. Squeeze that in as best you can. And then I'm going to just put a 1. Because I don't have a lot of room, I'm just going to multiply straight across because I know this is going to come out nice and neat. So this is 6 times 4 is 24. 1 times 3 is 3. And what is 24 divided by 3? And it is the same thing that we got. The answer is 8. All right, so if you want to pause and get that all down, we're going to do another hard one, which is the number 10. We'll do 2 more of these, and then I'll leave a couple of these for you to do. So this time, I've got my 4 boxes. I need each of them divided into thirds. So off center, and then cut the other one in half. Off center, cut the other one in half. Off center, cut the other one in half. Off center, cut the other one in half. Again, you might want to pause that so you can take the time to get it. And then, how many am I grouping? And if you said, I'm grouping 2/3, you are correct. So because this is less than 1, I'm actually going to have more groups, more than 4. So let's go ahead and do that. Here's 1 2/3, that's one group. 1 2, here's another group. 1 2, that's another 2/3. 1 2, that's 2/3 of that one. 1 2, that's 2/3. And another 1 2, that's 2/3. So how many groups of 2/3 were there? It looks like there was 1 2 3 4 5 6. So it looks like 6. Now we're actually going to do it mathematically to see if we can get the same thing. Again, dizzy division is leave, change the division sign to a multiplication, and flip. Put 3/2, which again, the real terminology is finding the reciprocal. So again, on these, they're so easy that I'm just going to go straight across because I can tell they're going to come out exactly. 4 times 3 is 12. 1 times 2 is 2. And what is 12 divided by 2? And it is 6, the same thing that we got when we did it with the visual method. I'm going to do one more. And I'm going to, let's see, so pause that again if you didn't get it. And then this one, 2 units, and I'm dividing by eighths. How many eighths do you think are in that one pizza? If you said 8, you're right. How many eighths are in the second pizza? If you said 8, you're right again. So how many eighths do you think are in the whole thing? If you said 16, you are just a genius. So let's go ahead and continue. Oh, who in the world is that? Oh, well, he was the one little character that did not appear. This is the Hamburglar. Get it? He likes to burglarize and find hamburgers. He loves hamburgers, right? So say hello. Hello. I'm going to go look in your refrigerator for a hamburger. Bye-bye. All right, he's gone. All right, let's go on. So remember who appeared. All right, so again, we're going to cut this one in half again. Even numbers, we can divide it evenly. And then, okay, so that's 8. And so if we know this is 8, we know that's 8. So I'm not going to have you cut both of them up. 8 and 8 it should be 16. But again, we're going to do it mathematically, which is leave, change, and flip. And again, because that's a 1 on the bottom, 8 divided by 1 is just 8. 2 times 8 is 16. And there you go. So I'm going to have you do the rest of these and get those answers. So try to do it visually by cutting it up how they're saying. Try to get your answer. And then do the leave, change, flip. So we're going to continue. I'm going to try to go a little faster. So the rest of these, it says use multiplication to find your quotient. In other words, do your dizzy division. How many fifths do you think are in 3 pizzas? Well, if you're saying 15, you are just doing awesome. So it's going to be leave, change, flip. And again, do I need that 1? No, because 5 divided by 1 is 5. So in this one, 3 times 5 is 15. If it's cut up in fifths, and I had 3 pizzas, I would have 15 pieces. On this one, how many every pizza is cut up into thirds, and I've got 8 pizzas. How many pieces do you think? Again, if you said 24, you are correct. But let's do the multiplication like they said. Leave, change, flip. Again, I don't need that. 8 times 3 is 24 pieces in my 8 pizzas. How many do you think on the number 14? Every pizza is cut up into tenths, and I've got 3 pizzas. So if you said 30, your brilliance is showing. So we're going to leave, change it to a multiplication, and flip. And because it's 10 divided by 1, I don't need that 1. 3 times 10 is 30. Now, the next one, they get a little bit harder. So let's go ahead and do this one. Again, this is much more difficult for me to even do it in my head. I do have a way, but it's kind of difficult. So let's just go ahead and do dizzy division, leave, change, and flip. Now this time I cannot cross out that 3. You know, it's not a 1. So this one, let's see if I can reduce anything. I could always go straight across and get 72 divided by 3, but that's too hard for me to divide. So let's go ahead and use our reducing first technique. 3 goes into both of those. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So how many groups of 3/8 are there? 3 times 8 is 24. Good job. You're getting this. Oh my goodness. All right. So here we go. So this one, let's just do dizzy division. So it's going to be 15 times, leave, change, flip. And this one also. Can we go ahead and reduce the 3 and the 15? I think so. 3 goes into 15 5 times. So 5 times 5 is 25. Okay, good job. And circle that or box that off. Alrighty. So let's flip it over. We're actually almost done. These are going to go so fast. So I'm just going to do a few of these. These are a little bit more difficult to conceptualize. I think I probably will only do 1 or 2 because they're very difficult to conceptualize. What this is this means if I've got 1/4, 2/4. And then I'm going to be dividing that by 3. I'm dividing that by, maybe I'll use a red pen here, I'm dividing that by 3. And so what I'm looking at, if I divide it by 3, where has it cross-hatched, which is right here. So what I've got left is if I've got a small fraction and I'm dividing it by 3, I'm going to have even less. It looks like I've got 1, 2, out of, how many are there all together? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Looks like I've got 2 out of the 12. And then I would have to reduce it. But for just the moment, I'm not, so I can go ahead and do the work. Again, these are a little bit more difficult. It's 2/4 and then divide it by 3, and it's where it overlaps. So let's go ahead, and I'll probably do some more of those next time because I see I'm running out of time. So on this, we're just going to do leave, and you may do these here, leave, change, and now to flip it, I need to put a 1 under this 3. So I'm going to flip it to be a 1/3. So 2 times 1 is 2. 4 times 3 is 12. And I didn't reduce this one. I could have right here because I just wanted you to see that this does match that. So again, it does come out that what I've got left is 2/12. And is that answer down there? No, because it has to be reduced. Cut it in half, 1/6. Again, we're going to do a couple of these. We're going to go to the next page. So let's look at this one. 1/5 divided by 8. Again, put a 1 under that. And then dizzy division, 1/5. Leave, change, flip. And this ends up being, if I take 1/5 and I divide it by 8, it's going to be 1/40. Again, find your answers at the bottom and cross those off. And honestly, I don't know what that is, where that hole is. So if you're getting all these others right, you can be confident that when you find the one that is not down there, it's probably that one. So again, It is very simple. I'll do one more on this side. So I need to put a 1 here. So this is going to be dizzy division. I'm dividing this by 6, so it's going to get smaller. So it's 5/8, leave, change, flip. And again, I cannot reduce anything. Go straight across, 5/48. Is that down there? No, it is. Oh, yes, it is. It is down there. All right. So that's easy. Is that easy? Okay. So we're almost done. Here is 8C with 1/2 divided, 1/3 divided by 1/3. What is 2 divided by 2? 1. 3 divided by 3? 1. 5 divided by 5? 1. 8 divided by 8? Guess what 1/3 divided by 1/3 is? If you said 1, you are correct, but we'll do it mathematically. Leave, dizzy division, change, and flip. Which is, again, that can be crossed off. So it's 1/1, which is just 1. Is that easy or what? Let me see if I can find a difficult one. Oh, yes, I do. Here, down here. Number 5. So here we go. Dizzy division. Leave, change, and flip. Right. Now, actually, this isn't too bad, but is there something with the 8 and the 12 that goes into both? If you said 2, you're right, but what about anything bigger? If I say 2, I'm going to double it and try 4. Oh yeah, 4 does go into it. So let's, 8 divided by 4 is 2. 12 divided by 4 is 3. And is there anything else? 2 and 11 do not go into those. So go straight across. 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 11 is 22. And 9/22, is that on the bottom? It is not, and I don't know why. Did I do something wrong? Leave, change, flip. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3. No, I did it correct, and that answer is just not down there. So sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't know why I have 11 answers, but that is the correct answer. Let's look at your number 9. I hope this isn't the one where I have the complete wrong answer bank. If it is, I'll send it to your parents in the email. So let's look at the number 9. So this one is dizzy division. Leave, change, and flip. All right. So there's no 11 and 12. There's no 11 and 9. So the only thing that we can do is go straight across. 11 times 11 is 121. 9 times 12, I don't remember. So I just have to work it out. So that's going to be 9, 10, 108. 108. All right. So on this one, this is improper. So let's recall that if it's improper, my box size is 108. I've got 121 pieces. How many boxes can I fill? If you said 1, you are correct. The rest get this. And then 1 times 108 is 108. And let's see how many are left over. It looks like 12, 13. And 1 and 13 over 108. I don't see that down there, but I'm going to see if 13 times something will give me 108. I know 15 times 6 is 90. So I'm going to try maybe 8. 8 times 13. 8 times 3 is 24. That is 8 times 1 is 8, 9, 10. All right, it does not go in. So I have a feeling, okay, I don't see that answer either. So I have a feeling there might be a mistake in the answer bank. I will make sure if there are any errors in that, I will correct that, and I will send a copy to your parents because I know I'll get a bunch of emails if people find all my mistakes. And then I have to give away all my candy when you email me. So I will make sure that I get that done. So can you handle that, girls and boys? Leave, change, flip. Let's do one more just to see if this answer bank is wrong. Is one more. So let's do this number 8. 3/12, dizzy division, leave, change, and flip. And this one, 2 goes into the 10 and the 12. 2 goes into that 5, 2 goes into that 6, and actually this can be reduced again. But I'm going to pretend I didn't see that. Let's just go straight across. That's 15 over 48. And now I should be able to see that 3 does go into it. So divided by 3 is 5 over 16. And I do see 5 over 16 down there. So again, I will confirm if there's any errors in the answer bank. Did I do 11 times 11 right? I think so. 9 times 2 is 18. Yeah, that is right. So I will check and again send your parents those corrections. So that is your job. Your job is to do the 8A, page 286, 8B, and you may do them right here, and the 8C, and you can finish those up. And again, I will send parent email if there are some of these that are wrong on the rest of them that you have to do. There's really not that many. And again, please make sure that you send me your number 7, and you can just, again, send it as video 7 work, dash, and put your name. Alrighty, and make sure that you send the work, especially for that C61, that you had to show all the steps. Alright, I shall see you Friday. Have a good day.